Good evening to you from Anfield and welcome to the second leg of this UEFA Champions League third qualifying round tie between last season's winners Liverpool and the Bulgarian champions CSKA Sofia. 3-1 in Liverpool's favour was the score when these two sides locked horns a fortnight ago in the Bulgarian capital. Hello from me, Derek Ray. Tommy Smith joins me for commentary tonight. Tommy, a mere formality this for Liverpool this evening?
Well, we can never say, though, these things are formalities. It certainly looks like on paper that it is. Liverpool certainly look like the better team. And now that Morientes can play in Champions League play, he has done a great job for them. But they still have to go out and play.
And of course we'll be keeping tabs on what's happening elsewhere in the third qualifying round, second leg matches. We can tell you that Rapid Vienna have already made it through to the group stage of the Champions League. A shock 1-0 win for the Austrians away to Lokomotiv Moscow. Rapid Vienna go through 2-1 on aggregate, and a couple of ticklish looking ties there.
Well, there certainly is, and Malmo look like they're in real trouble against one of the smallest teams in there, and that's certainly a very intriguing looking affair. And of course Rosenborg still have to fight for their life as well.
So it's all about qualifying for the group stage itself. European football's most prestigious and indeed richest club competition. We'll have the team news and the action from Anfield after the break. Anfield is the venue then for this Champions League third qualifying round, second leg meeting of Liverpool and the Bulgarian champions CSKA Sofia. Of course, the big debate that was raging at the end of last season was would Liverpool be allowed to defend their title? Well, it happened, albeit they had to go through the 3 qualifying rounds, and no problems at all for Liverpool, disposing of TNS in the first round, Kaunas in the second, and now on the verge of making it through to the group stage at the expense of CSKA Sofia. We should tell you it has been raining for much of the day here, and the pitch is decidedly on the wet side, Tommy.
Yeah, it certainly should have an effect, but of course, as they're singing in the background, you'll never walk alone. The last time we heard that was in Istanbul, and certainly the Liverpool fans have been walking on air since coming away with that great victory in the Champions League, and then the fact that they got in and they've done so well in this one.
Of course, history is such a big part of European nights here at Anfield. Bill Shankly, one of the managerial legends. Rafa Benitez has joined the pantheon of Liverpool managerial legends now after what they achieved last season against all the odds. So the Tannoy announcer here at Anfield shouts out the names of the CSKA Sofia players. It really would take a massive surprise if they are to progress at Liverpool's expense, but you never know in football. Let's bring you the team news, shall we? Steven Gerrard for Liverpool misses the game with a calf injury, while Jose Reina, Jamie Carragher, Xavi Alonso and Bolo Zenden start on the bench. Didi Hamann, goalkeeper Scott Carson, Josemi Jonan Arisa and the young Irishman Darren Potter have all come in.
Well, Morientes and Cisse will be the men up front expected to do the business.
Morientes, who of course scored twice in the first leg in Bulgaria. Interesting that Scott Carson has been given the nod by Rafa Benitez this evening, the 19-year-old who of course we saw in the Champions League against Juventus last season. There's the CSKA Sofia side. They're minus Hristo Yanev, their influential attacking midfielder. He's out for a month now with a thigh injury. Valentin Iliev is the player who has taken his place.
Zadi and Dimitrov will be expected to do the business up front. Thiago in midfield. And of course, the back line, it can be solid at times, but they've had a few problems, certainly.
So we're ready to go here at Anfield, and for many of these Liverpool players, a chance to play in a somewhat pressure-free situation. There's always an element of pressure when it comes to trying to qualify for the UEFA Champions League group stage, but with that comfortable 3-1 cushion from the first match, Liverpool need not really be worried going into this game. Just no doubt hoping to get off to a confident start on the heels of 2 Premiership matches, during which time not a single goal has been conceded. The 0-0 draw with Middlesbrough away from home on the opening day of the campaign, and then that 1-0 victory over Sunderland here at the weekend.
Oh, it'll be interesting to have a look at Sissoko, of course, somebody who Benitez wanted to sign for Liverpool. He was with them when they were with Valencia, and he certainly went out after him, got him, and he's a man who will definitely help the situation for Liverpool.
Our match referee is the vastly experienced German official Wolfgang Stark. And we're ready to play. Liverpool in their familiar all-red. CSKA Sofia, who normally play in red, have switched to black for the occasion. CSKA Sofia, the former Bulgarian army team back in the communist days. They won 9 championships in a row in the 1950s. And these days, still amongst the big guns domestically. They're not the most popular side in the city itself. That honour goes to Levski. They do have quite a bit of support from the provinces. But one got the impression at the end of the first leg in Bulgaria that the CSKA players were happy just to be on the same pitch as these Liverpool stars who lifted the Champions League trophy last season. Fernando Morientes trying to lead the line for Liverpool, being told to get back up onto his feet by the German referee Wolfgang Stark. So it comes to Emil Gargorov for CSKA. He's the captain of the Bulgarian side. Over on the far side, Velizar Dimitrov, one of the best-known members of the CSKA team, the Bulgarian international, with 14 caps to his credit. And Rafa Benitez looks on. Only Bob Paisley, Jose Mourinho and Rafa Benitez have managed to win the UEFA Cup and the European Cup or Champions League in successive seasons. And that promising long ball forward towards Guillaume Dazadi. He's the man from Cote d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast striker and a newcomer to the CSKA side. It was pumped forward that time by Ibrahima Gueye from Senegal.
The one problem that Liverpool have supposedly had is their central defenders, and that time you could see that CSK figured that they could beat the central defenders with that high ball in behind and let Zadie run onto it, but it was nicely cut out.
Now Liverpool's first real chance to surge forward through John Arnorisa. And they had to shuffle back the CSKA defenders. It was away in the end by the Moroccan Mourad Douiad. John Arnorisa will be hoping to help Norway steer their way towards a place in the World Cup finals, the forthcoming qualifying matches. Sami Hupia among those inside the area here for Liverpool. And the corner sails over the top. It was floated in by the young Irish player, Darren Potter, Republic of Ireland under-21 international.
Well, he got a run last year in the Carling Cup. This year, obviously, Benitez figures that he can move on to something different. I mean, he was a player who Everton could have had, but they just let him slip away.
Liverpool have Josemi playing there in the centre of the defence tonight. The Spaniard, of course, was injured at the tail end of last season, the former Malaga man. Stephen Warnock at left back. Trying to find Cisse. Warnock, the diminutive utility player. Steve Finnan. Well, the width is provided by Potter over there on the right. Fin it again. Ozemi. And the danger snuffed out by Gueye. This is his 5th season with CSKA Sofia. They, by the way, have played 3 league games already. They've won all 3. Hupia.
Oh, Liverpool dictating the pace here. It's interesting listening to Benitez every time the question of Michael Owen comes up. He keeps talking about, I need a central defender. I really don't need Michael Owen. But there's still a feeling that there's rumours that perhaps the owner of Liverpool may put his hand in his pocket and bring back Michael Owen with his own money.
Yes, the local paper here has been full of talk about Michael Owen. Will he rejoin? Won't he rejoin? Dirk Kuyt back in the picture again, according to reports today that Liverpool might be interested again in the Dutch international. But Rafa Benitez has said over the last few days that his priority is not a striker, rather it's a central defender and a right winger.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a I mean, it's kind of an insult to Michael Owen, isn't it, that you start talking about Kuyt and you're saying, okay, I'm not looking for a striker. Well, I'm not sure where you're going to play Kuyt if you're not going to use him as a striker.
Well, they can, of course, operate wide on the right, and I think the bottom line is that Kuyt would come a bit cheaper than Michael Owen. 5 minutes gone here, and still it's Liverpool 0, CSKA Sofia 0 on the night, with Liverpool leading 3-1 on aggregate. Half-time score, by the way, in Switzerland. We talked about the fairy tale being written by FC Thun. It's 2-0 to FC Thun against Malmö of Sweden. And of course Thun hold the advantage from the first leg too, so it looks as though an upset is well and truly in the making there. Now Riise for Liverpool. Lady Hamann there just in front of the Liverpool defence. He's a lot more popular, Hamann, wearing the colours of Liverpool than he is wearing the colours of Germany. He's not the favourite of too many German supporters. Now Gueye over on the far side for CSKA. It was sloppy, and Cisse's in here. Djibril Cisse for Liverpool. But full credit to the goalkeeper, Maxic. Gave him nothing to shoot at.
Well, Cisse using his pace to get into the back. A terrible mistake here. The ball just given away. You can't afford to make mistakes like that. A beautiful ball played through. Cisse gets onto the end of it. Just can't lift it up over the keeper. Marquek did a great job of coming down and cutting out the angle and just didn't allow Cisse to lift the ball over him. That's what Cisse was trying to do. Get under it.
Right enough start here by Liverpool. Trying to nip in again there and put the pressure on the CSKA defence. There's Riise. Deciding to give Scott Carson a touch. Nodded away by Iliev, who'd gone up. Morientes. Cisse. Djibril Cisse, who of course suffered that broken leg in the match against Blackburn last October, ruled him out for the best part of 5 months.
Well, this time he gets in open. This is the one where the keeper comes out and he just makes himself big, makes sure that there's no way he can lift it over him, but he's got that brilliant pace. Maybe needed a little bit better touch on the ball.
Sissoko there in midfield, the former Valencia man. He's made a bright start to his Liverpool career. Now Cisse couldn't quite get on the end of it that time. Sissoko. Cisse. Confident touches here from Liverpool. Hamann now. Riise and Warnock together. Deep ball by Riise. And appeals for handball there from Fernando Morientes. Wolfgang Stark waving play on. Zadie could do nothing with it for CSKA.
Some lovely touches by Liverpool, controlling midfield whatever they wanted, and then that long ball. To me it looked like a handball, but the referee didn't agree.
And it's going to be a free kick to the Bulgarians here. The little man Gargorov was the player fouled. Minutes gone. Not a particularly tall team, CSKA, and that's easy meat for Scott Carson. I mentioned that we watched him play in that Champions League match against Liverpool, against Juventus last season for Liverpool. Here at Anfield, of course, they were 2-0 up in that game. Carson with a bit of a howler, ended up 2-1. Now Morientes, and his first shot of this match.
Didn't have a whole lot of options because Cisse had gone into an offside position. There was no way Morientes could play the ball to him. Cisse laid it off to him, and then I'm not sure why he ran into that offside position, because he was clearly way behind the defender. So Morientes comes up with the shot, basically just blasted wide.
Liverpool fully expect to be in the hat for the group stage draw to take place in Monaco on Thursday. Of course, ahead of the European Super Cup showdown between Liverpool and another CSKA side, CSKA Moscow. That's on Friday.
Benitez looks a little worried there for some reason.
Zabavnik, Radoslav Zabavnik, the Slovakian international, has made 18 appearances for his country. Finnan for Liverpool. Sissoko's there, gets through a power of work. Used to be a big bruising striker, but seems to be far more effective, the 20-year-old, in the role of combative midfielder.
Well, these defenders for CSK are living very, very dangerously. They've been very sloppy at the back, and they're just quite lucky that they haven't been punished so far.
There's a couple of wobbles so far from Thiago. And there's Sissoko putting himself about, making himself popular with the Anfield faithful. Zabavnik wanted it back on this right-hand side. He's got it. Still it's Zabavnik. And the challenge came in from Riese, but the German referee saw nothing at all wrong with it. Neat passing again. Now Gargorov back to Diouad. They tried to charge there, the CSKA players. Iliev had made his way forward. Liverpool have the break of the ball. Riese. And it's Potter just trying to judge the bounce of it.
Well, Potter didn't lay it back very well from Morientes. That was the idea. But once again, Hoopy is showing how big a strength he is at the back. I know that Benitez probably feels that Hoopy is not going to play every game this year. But when he does play, he may have lost a step. But believe me, the intelligent way that he reads the game helps overcome that loss of speed.
Cisse and Morientes in tandem. And Morientes writhing around there as the tackle came in from Gueye.
Gueye catches him just when Morientes stretches for the ball. Could be nasty, that.
Liverpool's only goal at the weekend against Sunderland came from a free kick. Struck beautifully by Xavi Alonso, who's on the bench tonight. Riese might fancy his chances here. Hamann is the player who's directing operations. Riese is just behind him. So trying to synchronise the signals here. It is Riese. Low and hard and into the CSKA Sofia wall. Warnock. A bit of confusion there in the middle of the CSKA defence, but it's a goal kick. 14 minutes gone. Tommy, your reflections on the match so far?
So far, Liverpool are basically doing what they want, with the exception of a couple of attempts at a counter-attack. CSK very, very tough times getting involved in the game, and the defence is not helping them at all. They've made some horrible mistakes that Liverpool haven't taken advantage of. Liverpool with lovely touches in the middle, but they need a little bit better finishing.
Hipia had to commit himself, and it's Gargarov for CSKA Sofia. No one there to finish off the move. Zabavnik. And he had Sissoko for company. Free kick.
I think that points out very well what you were just talking about, the work rate of Sissoko. Started out on one side of the field, and look, he comes all the way across trying to help out his defenders here. He's on the opposite side of the field, and to me it looked like he got a touch on the ball. Well, maybe he lay on the ball. He got too much of a touch on it.
Now what can they conjure up here? The answer is a goal. Well, that's one to shock the Liverpool supporters. Iliev, I think it was. It was indeed Valentin Iliev, the man who didn't start the first leg. He's come in tonight for the injured Yanev. And so much for this being a Liverpool cakewalk.
Well, this ball just flicked into the box. Lovely touch on it. You have to ask the keeper. The keeper was a little bit off his line, but there was a lot to shoot at. Look at how quickly it happened. No defending at all worthwhile from Liverpool, and a very, very well executed set play. Beautiful strike. I mean, Iliev just smacked it by the keeper.
Well, it's a wonderful boost to CSKA Sofia's confidence. Fact is, however, they require 2 more goals to have any chance at all of going through. What with Liverpool having won the first leg by 3-1, the 3 away goals would hold sway should CSKA win this match 2-0 on the night.
Came completely against the run of play too. Liverpool had controlled the game.
It's the first time that they'd really tested the Liverpool defence, and Iliev with the goal for CSKA Sofia. This is Hammond for Liverpool. Maxic is there to gather. There is Miodrag Jesic. We got a glimpse of him earlier. Former Partizan Belgrade player, and also coached Partizan. Had a spell in Turkey with the Altay club, and a stint coaching in Iran too. Will that serve as an alarm call to Liverpool?
See, there's another giveaway. Those things could be huge.
Sissoko. It was Velizar Dimitrov who played it back to goalkeeper Maxic.
Sissoko felt that he was fouled. Remember, he was the man who gave away the free kick on the opposite end of the field. The referee had no sympathy for him at all here.
Well, there's the goal scorer, Valentin Iliev. Sweetly struck it was.
Beautifully set up from that set piece. I suppose I give the keeper a bit of blame, but I suppose looking at it, it's very difficult to blame the keeper. Nobody defended for him at all. Nobody went out, and it was very, very well executed. That, I'm sure CSK have worked on that a good many times in practice, let me tell you. It was sweet and smooth, and
Murad Diouad was the player who took a little knock there for CSKA. The Bulgarian champions were fined almost £14,000 by UEFA's control and disciplinary body just yesterday due to the behaviour of their supporters in the first leg. There were 5 instances of firecrackers being let off, and of course there was racist abuse aimed at Liverpool's Djibril Cissé. Everything noted by the UEFA observer, and the action taken against the club.
Not a good record. I mean, they were also fined £16,500 for their action against the Irish team, Shelbourne.
Iliev. Gueye is over on the far side. Nothing comes of that move. Alec Miller, as ever, alongside Rafa Benitez. Fernando Morientes, former Real Madrid hitman. Forward goes Gargarov. Sissoko again stretches out. It's back with Thiago Silva at the back for CSKA. Leading the second leg by a goal to nil. And oh, Carson having to come way out. And it was very nearly a second goal. Well, the Liverpool supporters not terribly enamoured with what they're seeing.
Well,
Panic stations at the back.
That was just a mistake here. I mean, this should have been at the back of the net. I mean, Zaddy runs over the ball and then the ball is just banged up over the top. Watch the situation inside. I mean, he should have taken the ball away from the keeper there, and he should have beaten the keeper, and it would have been a simple case of tucking it into the empty net. I mean, that was a terrible, terrible attempt at defending by Liverpool. They are very, very lucky to get away. Even the second shot from way out should have been put on the back of the net.
And that shot came in from Jordan Todorov, the 24-year-old in his fourth season with CSKA Sofia.
Came out of nothing, didn't it?
It's similar to the lone goal scored so far by Iliev for the visitors. 1-0 ahead on the night, but trailing 3-2 on aggregate against the European club champions.
Well, I guess Benitez is right. He does have a huge problem with central defence. Looking at those couple of situations, he certainly needs a fix somewhere.
And Liverpool have been looking at Fernando Meira, the Portuguese international defender who plays for Stuttgart. They've been looking at Lukas Sinkiewicz, youngster with Cologne in Germany. They've also been keeping tabs on Daniel Agar, a young defender who plays in Denmark for Brøndby. But there's no Jamie Carragher tonight, at least not in the starting 11. But the big man from Bootle is on the bench. Now Sissoko. Hamann. Sissoko tried to flight it forward towards Jonan Arisa, nodded away by Zabavnik.
Gerrard's drive in midfield is sadly lacking so far in this game.
He might well be in danger of missing the forthcoming England international against Wales, the World Cup qualifier. Here's Zaddy, and support was there immediately from Dimitrov. It's good play again here from CSKA.
Well, they've had a highway down the middle of this field, Derek. There's been no stopping them. Look at this, coming right down, and you see all the players collapsing on them. Questions about whether he was offside or not. This was the ball previous to that. That's Zaddy who ran over the ball.
Upia recently pledged his future here at Anfield until 2008. Potter. That's a corner. The ball coming off Thiago Silva. Now Hyypiä looking menacingly inside the area again here for Liverpool. Couldn't come to Sami Hyypiä. Did come to Jonan Arisa. Ozemi. Liverpool trying to remain patient, but they're trailing here on the night. Over the head of Djibril Cissé.
I think they consider themselves very lucky that they're not 2-0 down.
They got into a bit of a fankle that time, the CSKA defenders. They've conceded the free kick.
Looked like the referee found him guilty of putting his hand up and playing the ball.
Dejan Maksic, the 29-year-old goalkeeper. Didn't play in the first leg. That honour went to Yevgeny Khmaruch. Hamann and Cisse together for Liverpool. Hamann, Cisse! Great stop by Maksic, as that was travelling at a fair rate of knots as it came off Cisse's boot.
Cisse hits it well, he connects with all of it, there's nothing in the way. The keeper saw it a long way out, that was the good thing for the keeper, and he did very well, he got his body behind it.
Thiago Silva feeding Maksic. Two towering defenders there, Thiago Silva and Ibrahima Gueye, from Brazil and Senegal respectively.
Here's what the keeper saw. You could see there was a curve on that ball as well as everything else. He just got it nicely into his midsection. You see it took a little bit of the puff out of him too, so it did.
No problems tonight, by the way, with the tickets. Of course, technical difficulties at the weekend blighted the first home game of the Premiership season. There was a massive queue outside the Kop, resulting in the match having to be pushed back by 15 minutes, all to do with the new swipe card system in place for Premiership games, but not for European ties.
A lot of empty seats here tonight. I'm surprised that there's so many of those seats not filled.
Thiago Silva for CSKA Sofia.
I'm sure there won't be too many open ones if they progress past tonight. The next round it'll get serious stuff.
I'm sure had Liverpool not performed according to expectations in the first leg, the fans would have turned out in greater force this evening. But 3-1 away from home, you would have thought all over bar the shouting, but first blood tonight to CSKA. That goal from Iliev on 15 minutes, and Zadi back for the Bulgarians now. Gueye. More energy here from the visitors. Zadi, first time, and away by Hyypiä.
Well, Hyypiä basically just stood his ground there. That's what he does so well. Just swiped it out of there, but it was a nice looking break up the field by CSK.
This is Riese. And Cisse is trying to secure the advantage there against Valentin Iliev. It's another Liverpool throw. Stephen Warnock, it came off Zadi. Much joy for Morientes in the air so far against the big man in the middle, Gueye. This is better from Liverpool. Finnan, Morientes leaping up, and Riese. He's always keen to get it onto his left foot, isn't he, the Norwegian international?
I thought he might have pulled on it in the air with the right foot, but obviously he doesn't feel very confident in that. A nice move up the field by Finnan on the outside.
It's an unfavoured right foot, isn't it, where Riese is concerned?
Yeah, he's more dependable and feels more comfortable with that left one.
Ozemi. Riese. He managed to flummox Zabavnik. Iliev was there covering. As the scrap starts to simmer just a bit here at Anfield, with almost 29 minutes gone.
Liverpool trying to pick the game up a little bit. Riese gets in behind here. Here's the ball driven into the corner. Riese takes on his man, gets away from him, and never really, he had two men in the middle. He had Cisse and he had Morientes in the middle, but couldn't get the ball across to them.
Warnock. Finnan. And Jibril Cisse. It's a rescuing challenge by Radoslav Zabavnik for CSKA Sofia.
Well, Finnan kind of showing the form that I feel will make him the right full-back of the Premiership this year. A couple of lovely setups here in this first half from the Irishman coming up on the right-hand side.
Potter tried to steer it into Finnan's path. The two Irish players together over on the far side. And the sweeping counter-attack now from the Bulgarian. Zadi, that quick ball. That's exactly what was required. And Hyypiä is there, throwing himself at it.
Once again, Hyypiä, the man in the middle, to save the day.
But more questions being asked of Liverpool than one would have imagined. You can sense, can't you, the restlessness in the crowd.
Well, Sissoko and Potter on that right-hand side, they're not really holding on to the possession like they should.
Hammond keeps it on the ground. It's Cisse. And Potter's out there. Just prodded away by Thiago Silva. Sometimes they try to be a bit too intricate, don't they, CSKA, deep inside their own half. They got away with it that time, and this is Dimitrov. Zabavnik. The idea was to thread it through that time towards Todorov. And if you've just come in, the shock scoreline reads Liverpool 0, CSKA 1, making it 3-2 on aggregate in Liverpool's favour. Sissoko.
I'm a little bit shocked too by the fact that Lokomotiv Moscow has gone. I thought they were a team that was going to... They showed a lot of promise last year. I thought this year, with last year under their belt, I thought this year there would be a force.
It's knocked out by Rapid Vienna. And it was a late goal as well that did the damage. 6 minutes left. An action tonight coming to you from Anfield. And Iliev with the goal for CSKA. Cisse chiseling away at the CSKA Sofia defence. And he wanted the free kick. The referee wasn't the slightest bit interested. It's Thiago Silva. Interesting thing about CSKA is this. 3 times in the past they've knocked the holders of the European Cup out. Happened against Ajax back in 1973, against Liverpool, would you believe, in 1980, and against another English team, Nottingham Forest, in 82. So there is a European track record there. They appeared in 2 semi-finals in European club competition, once in the old European Cup against Inter in '67, once in the last 4 of the Cup Winners' Cup against Barcelona in 1989. 12 minutes to go to half-time, and Liverpool still trying to find their way. Cisse. Sissoko. Reset. And he's not even going to win the throw.
Once again, an opportunity presented for Liverpool, with Steven Gerrard biting his nails, but I don't think it's that serious at this stage. Might be for him.
Picked up the calf injury in the 1-0 win over Sunderland at the weekend. As the instructions come from Liverpool's Spanish manager. As he does have 1 or 2 regulars on the bench, the likes of Xabi Alonso and Jamie Carragher and Boudewijn Zenden.
Well, that boot was very, very high.
I suppose it's a bit premature to call Zenden a regular, but the expectation is he'll be akin to a regular as the season progresses.
And one man who won't be a regular anymore is Barros, right? He's gone.
Yes, that was the news that came through today. £6.5 million, the transfer fee. Barros reckoned to be on around £30,000 a week with Aston Villa, his pay having gone up. It was forced in that time by Gargarov. Morientes and Cisse trying to get the break of the ball. Iliev was watching it as it went spinning back towards his goalkeeper, Dejan Maksic.
Oh, it took a couple of deflections on the way back in and could have gone anywhere, basically.
Zabavnik across the CSKA defence. Gueye. Forward by Todorov. Have demonstrated CSKA that they can pass the ball around neatly enough here. It's been a sluggish looking Liverpool.
Well, certainly when you look at Warnock, you look at Potter, even Sissoko, they've had a tough time.
And there's space again here for the Bulgarians. And on the far side, it's Yurukov.
And another man you haven't called too often, Hammond. He's had very, very few touches in midfield.
Duyad. Doing the playmaking that time was Dimitrov. Big tower at the back is Gueye, Ibrahima Gueye, CSKA's Senegalese defender. Now Zabavnik. And I'm sure CSKA supporters watching this are thinking, my goodness, if only this were the first leg, might be onto something.
If they'd played as well in the first leg, they certainly would have caused this team a few surprises. Carragher there doesn't look too concerned at the moment.
Paco Ayestaran is the other coach there alongside Rafa Benitez. Alec Miller on one side and his fellow countryman Paco Ayestaran on the other. Fellow countryman of Benitez. Cisse. And to spoon it out there towards Potter. Now Sissoko, and that shot just slithers wide. Good effort by the former Valencia man.
Nicely set up, a couple of nice touches on the ball. When it comes across to him, he takes his time, gets it onto his left foot, and just missed the target. Sissoko wide open in the middle.
You get the feeling, don't you, that Sissoko in time could be a real favourite of these Liverpool supporters.
But the kind of work ethic he has, he certainly will fit the Liverpool mould of the way you're supposed to play football. He likes to get stuck in and he likes to work the two ends of the field, and he has the engine to keep going back and forth.
His presence will give Rafa Benitez a lot of flexibility there in midfield. He'll know that he doesn't have to play Didi Hamann in every single game. He can afford to give Gerrard and Xabi Alonso more time off than perhaps they enjoyed in those crucial last few weeks of last season.
I'm just wondering, will Cisse ever become a huge popular man with the fans here?
I think there's a real question, isn't there, about Cisse's future if Liverpool decide that they want to sign Michael Owen or Dirk Kuyt.
And certainly even today now, I mean, he has a striker warming up. Why would you have a striker warming up? I don't think you're going to take off Morientes, are you? You're not going to go with three strikers at this stage, I wouldn't think.
Florent Cinema Pongol is the man who's warming up. Flicked on by Cisse. Morientes was doing the chasing. Liverpool's ball on this near side. Risa with the throw. All the way back to Sami Hyypiä. Ozemi. Risa did well. Warnock's cross, and Morientes is trying to get the better of Gueye. He's a very difficult player to beat in the air, is Ibrahima Gueye. Now Risa kept it all along the ground that time. It's a fairly compact, well-organised CSKA defence, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't make too many mistakes. They cover up for one another very well, and they read the situations well. You can see them taking up the position. Look at, there's a black shirt everywhere. Good play to keep Morientes off the ball.
Sissoko, Morientes. In the end, couldn't find Risa. Gave it straight to Emil Gargorov. Gargorov and Diouad together. And rather a frustrating first half here from the Liverpool point of view.
I imagine Benitez and company would have expected that this game would have been put away. And I mean, I suppose there are fans out there saying, yeah, but it is put away, but it's not as secure as it was when the game started, which is not good news for Liverpool.
It's another CSKA Sofia goal, and this would become positively absorbing. As it is, it's still a very big ask for the Bulgarians. Well, they have been putting the ball into the back of the net with ease. Scored 11 goals in their first 3 league games in Bulgaria this season.
They have a few fans here.
As I said earlier, originally the army team back in the old communist days in Bulgaria. They still have the nickname of the Chorberi, the soup eaters. That's how they're referred to in Bulgaria itself. And there is Xabi Alonso amongst the gaggle of players warming up for Liverpool. Cracking goal from Xabi Alonso at the weekend to see off Sunderland. Sissoko. Djibril Cissé. And seemed to be fouled just as that was developing, and then he scraped it forward towards Morientes, who looked over and saw that the offside flag was up.
Morientes is clearly offside when the ball is flicked through to him.
And the referee blew his whistle before that, as we said. And another long-range free-kick opportunity for the men in red. So one very fine save indeed from Max Hitch earlier on to deny Cissé. Surely going to be John Arne Riise here. See if he can put his powerful left foot to good use. 2 minutes to go to half-time, and it's Riise for Liverpool.
Well, he hit a rocket, but it was a rising rocket, unfortunately, for Liverpool. He really got a hold of this one. Never looked like it was going to trouble the keeper, but he got a lot of power onto it. If you're a keeper, that's what you see. It's a little bit late seeing it at that stage, isn't it?
He's become more of a left midfielder, John Arne Riise, in the last season, after playing predominantly at left back during his early days with Liverpool. Thiago Silva for CSKA. Down goes Zadi. And again, the Bulgarians have won it back. And there's a clear trip by Finnan over on the far side. Actually, Potted it was. Dimitrov, the man, felled.
Coming back, and I think it was much a case of the CSKA player falling down with making the contact with Potter, as Potter had looked like he had pulled out of the challenge.
The solitary goal scored in this first half came as a result of a free kick. Miodrag Jezic is trying to get them organised. Last chance in this first half, and it bubbles around awkwardly. And nothing there in the end for the visitors. Nothing for Verizar Dimitrov. But the 45 minutes have come and gone, and it's not what the Liverpool supporters had in mind, this.
Without a doubt, they thought they would be safely looking at a spot in the draw for the next round, making that dream come true to get through into the group stage.
Risa now going to have the 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half here. And a corner to Liverpool. Risa with it. And Hupia tried to make contact. Tried to flash in the header.
Headed it down. You can see he comes first man onto the ball and never really got the kind of contact with it that he wanted to.
Well, a real shock to the Liverpool system in the form of a goal after 15 minutes from Valentin Iliev. It was superbly taken, but it without question took Liverpool completely by surprise. They nevertheless lead on aggregate by 3-2, but at half-time in this second leg, it's 1-0 to the Bulgarians. Welcome back then to our coverage of this Champions League third qualifying round, second leg meeting of Liverpool, the winners from last season, and CSKA Sofia, the Bulgarian champions. It's 1-0 here to the visitors, but Liverpool remain in front 3-2 on aggregate. Let's take you through some of the other scores, shall we? And it's looking as though Monaco might be heading out of the competition, because it's 1-1 between Monaco and Betis. Oliveira with the early goal for Betis there. They, of course, won the first leg by 0-0. Wisla Krakow looking good as well. The Poles, it's 0-0 in the match in Greece. 3-1 to Wisla in the first game. Udinese are sitting pretty. FC Thun, the shock troops, are poised to go through at Malmo's expense. Partizan 0, Art Media 0, and it was 0-0 in the first match there as well, so that's heading for extra time. All these matches that you see on the screen to be played tomorrow night, and certainly Rangers will fancy their chances. Likewise, Manchester United. Everton have it all to do, having lost the first leg 2-1 at home to Villarreal. Slavia, Prague and Anderlecht in a real nail-biter there. Likewise, Ajax against Brøndby. Werder Bremen against Basel in the same category. Of course, Basel were 2 to the good against Werder Bremen, only to concede a goal towards the end of that game. So that's on a knife edge as well. Liverpool know that they can afford to lose 2-0 here and still go through, but it's a bit too close for comfort now. 1-0 to CSKA Sofia on the night. Welcome back then to Anfield, the venue for this UEFA Champions League third qualifying round, a second leg meeting of Liverpool and CSKA Sofia. It's 1-0 to the visitors. Tommy, your thoughts?
A lot of pressure from Liverpool early on, but it never really turned into anything. Cisse gets himself inside, keeper comes out, keeper spreads himself very well. Cisse tries to lift the ball over him, keeper does very well. Marks does very well to get down and denies Cisse the opportunity. 3 minutes later, the swarm of Liverpool players kept coming forward. Cisse knocks it down. Cisse gets back out to Morientes. Cisse was in an offside position, so Morientes decided to take the shot, and he blasted up over the top, and there's the goal. Iliev on the free kick, very, very quick into the box. He never hesitated in the stride, and he just smacked the ball right by Carson. He gave him no chance, and that put CSKA back into the game. Iliev with a beautifully taken goal. 20 minutes in, they came on the attack again, and it looked like they could have had the ball in the net here. Zaddy runs over it, and then it's just flicked up over the top. The net was empty, and CSKA should have probably, I'm not sure how Zaddy didn't get to that ball, and then it was just flicked up over the top by Todorov, who missed the empty netter. Once again, Cisse with a powerful low shot. Keeper does well, got his body behind it and made sure that he didn't spill it.
Liverpool have made most of the running, but CSKA have looked exceptionally dangerous on the break. And if they can somehow sneak a second goal here, then we're in for a very intriguing second half. As things stand, Liverpool still in the driving seat, leading on aggregate by 3-2. We'll take another short break here on ESPN, and then we'll return with every kick of the ball from the second half. I don't think anyone was expecting this tonight, but Liverpool are up against it here. It's 1-0 to CSKA Sofia in this Champions League third qualifying round, second leg. The goal coming from Valentin Iliev after a quarter of an hour for the Bulgarian champions. And it wouldn't be a massive surprise, Tommy, given the extent to which players were warming up for Liverpool shortly before half-time, if Rafa Benitez immediately makes a couple of switches.
Yeah, I think Benitez is going to make changes here. We saw a lot of players getting warmed up, and he obviously can't be very happy with what's happening in the first half. I mean, there was a lot of those Liverpool players looked like they were dancing La Bamba instead of playing football.
Let's have a look at the old scoreboard, shall we? As I mentioned, Monaco are in a bit of trouble, having lost the first match to Betis by 1-0. Wisla Krakow are in a good position, as are Udinese. FC Thun have made it through. Congratulations to the Swiss side, through to the Champions League group stage for the first time. 0-0 in the Partizan match. That's gone to extra time now. Rosenborg are going to be in their customary position in the group stage, and Rapid Vienna, we told you about earlier, prevailing against Lokomotiv Moscow.
Well, certainly there's a big surprise there with Thun, and I thought it was another surprise too that Lokomotiv Moscow went out. Not saying that Rapid Vienna don't deserve to be there, but I thought that Lokomotiv Moscow were a better team.
So all in all, one or two unfamiliar names in the group stage, and that never does any harm.
Yeah, it's good to have a variety. It's good to have a look at smaller teams, give them an opportunity to get a cut of that big pie that's now become the Champions League, and let them make some money. And it's great to see new talent coming through the ranks, and I'll be looking forward to seeing Thun.
Yes, wouldn't it be something if we have two Swiss teams in the group stage? It's a real possibility, because Basel lead Werder Bremen 2-1 after the first leg. They, of course, will meet in Germany tomorrow night. But we're concerned with Liverpool and CSKA Sofia. This weekend, the pair of us will be concerned with Alaves against Barcelona. Newly promoted Alaves taking on the defending champions. The first week of action in La Liga, and I can't wait.
Certainly Barcelona showed that they're going to be a force, although they went down to Betis in the second leg, but they won the cup very, very easily. It's interesting just watching them getting themselves back into shape, and it'll be interesting to see. They didn't make too many moves in the transfer market this year. That's one of the things that they haven't really strengthened their side, but then again they haven't weakened it either, so they should be okay.
Just having a look at the Liverpool side, it doesn't at first glance appear as though any half-time substitutions have been made by Rafa Benitez. He had Xabi Alonso limbering up. He had De Floro Cinema Pongol warming up, but he is now going to make a substitution. It's Luis Garcia who's coming on. One of the heroes of the successful Champions League campaign last term. And he's taken the place of Darren Potter, who I think had one or two problems getting accustomed to the pace of the game in the first half.
Yeah, young Potter struggled a little bit. The young Irishman, he'll be seen again, but Benitez just saying, hey, time to take him off now and put in a more seasoned veteran there. The man who scored one of the wonder goals for me last year in the Champions League. An incredible strike.
Yes, the goal against Juventus, and then of course the goal everyone was talking about for weeks afterwards. Was it a goal, was it not a goal, against Chelsea in the semi-finals?
You don't want my opinion on it again.
Well, we got it back then. No, I'm not trying to goad you at all.
Yeah. Trying to get me in trouble one more time,
just in case people
forgot about it. Is that what you're saying now?
It's old hat now, but it was an interesting debate for a while. Now here's Finnan for Liverpool.
Mourinho will still debate you if you want to talk about it. He still figures it wasn't a goal.
And I know he said that directly to you a few weeks ago. Now Luis Garcia, having come on, is immediately fouled by Gueye.
And I was nice and polite. I didn't take him on.
Such a pleasant chap you are. Now John Arisa with the free kick. Sofia has gone forward. Liverpool 0, CSKA Sofia 1, and it's Risa dipping and swerving, and full marks again to Maxic. 100% alert, and he needed to be.
Where did that thing come from? It looked like absolutely no problem, and all of a sudden, even when it left his boot, it looked like it was going to be 10 yards wide. What a shot from Risa. I mean, that was absolutely brilliant.
It's evidence of what the Norwegian is capable of when he has a couple of seconds which to make up his mind. And, well, Morientes was there inside the area, felt that his shirt was being pulled at.
It's amazing when Risa struck the free kick, but look at the ball come back to him. Watch this. It looks like it's going to be way wide, and all of a sudden it starts dipping and bending. But that's a great save by the keeper as well.
He's had a couple of fine stops in the course of the second leg, as Maxic was not the regular CSKA keeper, and there's confirmation of the substitution that took place right at the start of the second half, with Luis Garcia, the Spaniard, on for the young Irish player Darren Potter. He's had to do a lot of front running on his own. Guillaume Zadi, recent signing, the striker from Côte d'Ivoire, from Ivory Coast.
Looks like he's an immense talent. I'd say he'd be a little bit disappointed when he looks back at the tapes that ball that broke down in front of him, he should have taken it away from Carson and put it in the back of the net. It should be 2 on that scoreboard for CSKA.
They try to attack through Risa over on the far left-hand side. He's using all his power, and down has gone Valentin Iliev, the goal scorer, back in the 15th minute for CSKA.
I think Risa may have hit him with an elbow on the thigh. Let's see as the two players just go thundering into one another. It's very, very high tackle from the two of them.
Well, treatment required here as far as Iliev is concerned. He cuts a very calm, composed figure, doesn't he, the CSKA manager, Miodrag Jezic?
I've just noticing the similarity between the two managers. I mean, they have that same kind of dress style, and they have that same kind of hairstyle, and they have that same kind of managing style.
So Iliev hobbles back up onto his feet. Morientes, and here's the snapshot. It came in from Risa. Came rattling in towards Maxic, the goalkeeper.
Well, Risa coming through, a nice little bit of a flick on from Morientes, and he gets it onto the right foot. Would much rather have had it on the left foot, but he does power over the right foot. He hits it well, just a little bit off the target.
Well, since we're into the second half here, I'll make the updates on the other matches a bit more regular, shall I? I can tell you first of all that Monaco have scored again against Betis. 2-1 now to Monaco. It's 2-2 on aggregate. Betis ahead only on the away goals rule. So that's a cliffhanger. Panathinaikos have scored twice against Wisla Krakow, and they now are poised to go through, as Liverpool have to pay attention at the back. It's headed behind by Warnock, and a corner to CSKA Sofia.
Dangerous looking situation, and Warnock taking no chances as this ball comes across him. He's the wide man on the left, and he gives away the first corner that Liverpool have given up this night. Warnock just said, hey, better not take a chance.
So Wisla Krakow, just to get back to that subject, won the first leg 3-1, but are trailing 2-0 now in Greece. Panathinaikos ahead on away goals. Over comes the corner. It was fired across there by Yurukov, and a fine, confident take by young Carson. Scott Carson, the former Leeds United goalkeeper, not likely to be understudy this season to Jose Manuel Reina. The newcomer in goal for Liverpool.
Just wondering where the old comer in goal fits for Liverpool. Where does Jersey fit in?
And the big problem, of course, is that Jerzy Dudek has picked up an injury. I think there's little doubt Liverpool otherwise would have sold him by now. Six minutes into the second half. Still it's 1-0 to CSKA Sofia. Warnock under pressure here from Gargarov, who's been a constant pest. And the throw in there by Gargarov straight to Risa, and the referee wasn't terribly happy with the throw in any case.
He should have played the advantage. Liverpool had possession of the ball. Just play the game on. Forget about the foul throw. It's a foul throw, we know, but Liverpool were in possession.
Slipped out of his fingers.
Well, as you said earlier, it had been raining here very, very, very heavily. We haven't seen any trace of it on the field. The field's been in really good condition.
Just returning to some of the other scores, Rosenborg are leading Steaua Bucharest 3-1 now. It was 3-0 until just seconds ago. But Rosenborg are 15 minutes away from a place on the group stage of the Champions League.
They make it a habit of that, don't they?
Here's Finnan. Good ball it was, excellent ball. And then following up was Risa on the far side. Didn't really get hold of it. Iliev holding things together at the back for the visitors.
Beautiful ball by Finnan, glided right across. We're looking for Morientes. There'll be more of that all season, and Morientes just can't get to it. Iliev does get to it, and it's knocked away. Then it comes back to Risa, and he smacks it up over the top.
The other match I wanted to get your thoughts on, Tommy, was Partizan Belgrade and Art Media. Of course, Art Media, the team that knocked out Celtic, and it was 0-0 in the first leg in Bratislava. It's 0-0 in the return leg in Belgrade, and they've gone to extra time.
Wouldn't that be some shock if they get through to the group stages? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't the flash in the pan against Celtic. Maybe they are as good as they looked at times.
As we said during the half-time interval, the likelihood is we're going to see two or three newcomers in the group stage this season. Two or three teams who'd never been there before.
I would think it'd be great for the competition.
Sissoko is trying to set something up that time for Cisse. Standing firm at the back was Gueye. And Thiago Silva, the Brazilian. And oh, it's fallen kindly here for CSKA. And well, that chance was on, and they know it. Dimitrov knows it. And Liverpool at 6s and 7s. Sissoko with the challenge. And Wolfgang Stark wasn't at all impressed. It's a free kick to CSKA Sofia, and Liverpool again leading a charmed life at the back.
Very frantic, very frantic. That ball broke nicely for CSKA inside of the box, but the shot is blocked down, and then Sissoko, I don't think he can have made too many complaints. He cuts the player down. The referee wasn't at all impressed by what he said.
Now, who's going to have a crack at goal here? There's the answer. It was the Moroccan Diouad, And I think at one point on its way towards goal, Douillard thought that was destined to go into the back of the net.
So did I, and look at the power onto it. It misses by a coat of paint. He gets it onto the wall with a lot of power, really well set up. Nobody blocked it down. The keeper's much too late. If that ball is inside another 6 inches, it's in the back of the net, because Carson would have had no chance. That was an absolute rocket.
I'll tell you what, Tommy, there's real drama now in Trondheim in Norway. It was 3-0 to Rosenborg. They were coasting. 1-1 was the score in the first leg against Stour. Get back to that in a second as we watch Scott Carson claim it. So we're saying it was 3-0 to Rosenborg, but all of a sudden, 2 goals inside 3 minutes. It's 3-2 now. And if Stour can muster one more goal, then they would go through on the away goals rule.
That's surprising. I was sure Rosenborg were through.
The goals by Radoy and Jakob for Steaua Bucharest. And back here at Anfield, Morientes couldn't get any change out of the CSKA Sofia defence. It's CSKA Sofia tonight for Liverpool, CSKA Moscow for them on Friday in the European Super Cup final. And Hamann, who's had a bit of a quiet match, as Tommy was mentioning, could only force it out of play. Quite a few Liverpool players out there are having off nights. Happens even to the best of them. Riese. Almost 12 minutes into the second half. Sissoko now giving them drive and bite.
You know, whilst I agree with you that it does happen to the best of them, I think that was one of the problems that Liverpool had last year. They had too many off nights. That's why they ended up being 33 points behind Chelsea when it was all settled up. And I think if they're gonna do anything this year, they're going to have to, first of all, they're going to have to shoot better than that. Sissoko got himself a great opportunity there, but I think they're going to have to be more consistent and more determined in the way they play, Derek. They got to come up with the results. I wasn't at all impressed with the first game against Middlesbrough. They played well enough last weekend. They've played well enough at times, some of them today, but they have a few problems. There's definitely a few problems. Benitez is right. The central defence needs work on, and I know that when Gerrard comes back into midfield and everything, the things will be different. But you know, you're presuming that Gerrard comes back. You have to make plans and provisions for when Gerrard is not there, and the plans and provisions haven't worked out today because this midfield have not played very well.
Yes, central defender and right winger, or right midfielder, identified as the two main priorities as far as signings are concerned by Rafa Benitez, with the days now counting down for the end of the transfer window. Where are we now? The 23rd?
Last day of August, is it?
8 more days to go.
I have to see if I can get a bid on you here or there somewhere.
It won't be a very hefty one, I don't think. Now forward by Thiago Silva for CSKA Sofia. They've looked lively here, and Liverpool are forced to concede the corner. Riese that time. It's a good thing Liverpool have this 3-1 cushion from the first match.
Yeah, if Liverpool had played like this in the first match, they would be in real trouble. Or if you look at it the other way, if CSKA Moscow or CSKA had played this well in the first match, they would be in much better shape.
Late runs there from Iliev and from Dimitrov. Douillard for CSKA, the inventive Moroccan. But now that's got to be a free kick. Sissoko sees the decision go in his favour. Fouled by Gueye.
Gueye just pulled on the ball, but didn't make any contact with the ball, but made a lot of contact with Sissoko.
Get away with that. It's Iliev who committed himself initially. Almost had egg on his face.
Iliev has played well on the two ends of the field.
Let's give you another update. Real Betis have scored again in their match away to Monaco. Second goal by Ricardo Oliveira. That's 2-2 now on the night, and that should mean that Betis and not Monaco will go through. It's a 3-2 on aggregate. Monaco, of course, the finalists, the beaten finalists of a couple of seasons ago. That's with 9 minutes left of that match. It's still 0-0 in the fascinating Partizan Belgrade against Artemisia second leg. They're in extra time. And we should be able to bring you the decision, if you like, that match. Even if it goes to penalty kicks, we should still be on the air. Zabavnik for CSKA Sofia. Back towards the link man there on the centre, Todorov. And Hupia just letting Dimitrov know he was there. Hupia again. Hamann.
So many times you have to say that about Hupia. He's having such a good game. He's having a good game tonight as well. He covers a lot of ground, and you know, I've been critical of his turn of speed, and certainly that if you get behind him, you can play him out of the game. But when you play the ball into him, he's a rock.
Risa was there on the left-hand side, headed away by Zabavnik. Hamann. Risa. But taken away from him relatively easily in the end. And fine play it was by Gargarov. But a bit useful, aren't they, on the break here at CSKA Sofia? They're showing that once more. Dioad did well. And it comes off Warnock's head. Gargarov.
And Warnock did well covering that spot, because Hupia had been caught upfield, and as you said, these guys, when they break, they're very, very smooth with the ball at their feet. They're very smooth with the passing department.
It's Warnock's header for Liverpool. It should be tidied up. It is. Luis Garcia hasn't had much to say for himself since coming on. And I wonder, is it not time that Rafa Benitez freshened up his team again? Hamann. Sissoko was there, trying to do the prompting, and fouling in actual fact.
Sissoko, he's a little bit reckless in his approach to challenges, and it's cost him a number of times tonight. He's given up a number of fouls here. I mean, his work ethic, there's no questioning that, but I think he's just got to be a little bit more patient, and he's got to be a little bit more accurate when he goes in on a challenge.
Wisla Krakow have pulled one back against Panathinaikos. Goal by Sobolewski on 78 minutes. And will that turn out to be their passport into the group stage? And will it mean the end for Panathinaikos? That's the news that's coming through. Yep, it is.
Clearly offside. I mean, the crowd may be booing, but...
Boudewijn Zenden is going to come on here for Liverpool with 64 minutes gone. He's taking the place of Stephen Warnock. Zenden, the summer signing from Middlesbrough.
He's going to give them an awful lot more life in terms of running with the ball, but I thought Warnock did a good job there, especially in the last 10-15 minutes when he went back deep, helping out the defenders.
And Zenden, having just come on, immediately gets involved in the hassling side of the game and fouls Jordan Todorov.
Well, Zenden has been referee as well as everything else, telling him that he's got to get up, but there's no question about it. Zenden took the legs out from under him.
We have 25 minutes left here. Liverpool still well placed to go through. But in the other matches, in many of the other matches at least, it's nail-biting time. Less than 5 minutes to go in Monaco, in Greece, in Norway, in Italy as well, although Udinese appear to have that situation under control now. So Bolo Zenden for Stephen Warnock, and like an express train it's Zenden here. Cisse crying out for the ball in the middle. Instead he tried to drop back to Morientes. Hammer now. The bodies were flying. It's a Liverpool free kick.
Morientes had a great chance. I'm not sure why he couldn't get to it.
Let's have a look at this incident again. Hamann there. Well,
the elbow came up, but it was a case of the player protecting himself. I don't think you're ever going to get a bad call against a situation like that. You know, players are taught to have their elbows and their arms up, and he did catch him across the throat.
Yes, that's Jordan Yurukov. Let's have a look at this again. Zenden on the left.
Well, Morientes is inside, but watch what happens when he plays the ball back to him. They collapse onto him. Morientes should have hit it anyhow. He should have got it.
Well, he's provided Liverpool with a bit of extra pace on that left-hand side, and the supporters have rediscovered their voices. Can Liverpool, the players, rediscover their form? The form that made them European club champions last season. Risa's going to give it some leather. It took a deflection in the end, and that's really what put the goalkeeper off.
Well, the goalkeeper had no chance, Derek, if it had been on target. Watch what happens here. The goalkeeper is much too late. Look at, there's no point in diving at that time. Some of the fans had the ball in the stand by the time he dived. He was in real trouble with that deflection.
Hippier this time, nods it down. And too much height on the shot from Luis Garcia. Had to react almost instinctively to that one.
Yeah, and the ball bounced a little bit high for him. Hippier doing a good job of keeping the ball alive. Here's the shot that takes the ricochet. Risa has been fired in a minute will in this second half.
We're in the 90th minute in the Monaco Betis match with Real Betis looking as though they'll make it through to the Champions League group stage for the first time. 2-2 there on the night, 3-2 to Betis on aggregate. Wisla Krakow are just a few kicks of the ball away from making it through themselves. Rosenborg likewise, despite a couple of jitters being experienced late in the match at the Lakendal Stadium against Steaua Bucharest. And here, the defending European club champions are not having the best of nights. They're trailing by a goal to nil to CSKA Sofia. But the good news for Liverpool is the hard work was done in the first match in Bulgaria. All the spade work there. A 3-1 win. And the run was made on the left by Yurukov. It's gone out for a Liverpool throw, which Stevie Finnan will take. So far tonight, Rapid Vienna and FC Thun from Austria and Switzerland respectively have booked their passages into the group stage. Who will join them? We're going to find out in well, 4 or 5 cases in the next couple of minutes. Hippier for Liverpool. A flat performance this by the men in red.
One just goes back to that incident in the first half, Derek, where the net was empty. Had it gone in, it would have been 2 on the board for CSKA. You just wonder what would have happened with Liverpool then.
Looks as though Stoico Sakaliev, the 26-year-old CSKA striker, is going to come on. This is better from Liverpool. Luis Garcia had to bore his way in. Garcia. A bit more inventive from Liverpool.
Good moves here. Luis Garcia got himself involved and he pulls the ball across onto his left, but he hits it right down Broadway, and the goalkeeper standing there takes it on his gut.
Right, we have some news for you. Partizan Belgrade against Artmedia. They have concluded extra time. 0-0 the score on the night and an aggregate. They are going to penalty kicks. Liverpool knew all about that. News to follow shortly on that game in Belgrade. Hamann tidies up for Liverpool. Now Sissoko. Morientes was there to help him out. Hamann. Remember, CSKA Sofia need 3 goals to have any chance at all here against Liverpool. 2-0 wouldn't be enough because of the away goals rule. Liverpool managed 3-1 away from home in the first leg. Hupia. And the lively Zenden. Now can Morientes get the break of the ball? Fernando Morientes. He tried almost nonchalantly to prod it home, but it wasn't to be for the man who scored twice in the first leg in Bulgaria.
Great skill by Morientes, great determination as he stays on the ball. Luis Garcia with the little flick inside. Morientes looks like he's been hassled all over the place. Gets the break and just missed it. The ball was taken out of there. Nicely done by Morientes. He allows the 2 men to tackle one another, takes the keeper out of it, and then the ball is just cleared off the line.
Okay, the substitution sees Stoiko Sakaliev take the place of Jordan Yurukov. And I have further developments to report in the other matches. Full-time score in Norway. Rosenborg 3, Steaua Bucharest 2. Rosenborg go through. Meanwhile in Greece, Panathinaikos have scored right at the death when it looked as though they were heading out against Wisla Krakow of Poland. A goal by Papadopoulos in the 87th minute, so 3-1 on the night. It's 4-4 on aggregate. And that can be heading for extra time as well. Now Liverpool still threatening here through Morientes. But Maxic is there for CSKA Sofia.
Not a whole lot of steam on this one. You can see Liverpool line up. They're in pretty good shape here, but Morientes is falling away when he gets the header onto the ball.
Confirmation of the CSKA substitution. I'd love to be able to give you a kick-by-kick synopsis of what's happening in Belgrade, but unfortunately I don't have that facility. I can tell you that it's 0-0 after extra time, and they are heading for a penalty shootout. Partizan Belgrade against Artmedia Bratislava. Offside flag was up at the other end against the substitute Sakaliev. Sissoko. Zenden. Reese is arriving. And away by Dioad. What an achievement it would be for CSKA Sofia to keep Liverpool at bay, to record a victory on the night here against the European club champions, even though Liverpool have been well below their best. Morientes was looking for it. And the corner is conceded with a quarter of an hour remaining. Luis Garcia, that was a useful looking ball for Cisse to attack. But I must say, this goalkeeper Maksic has done very little wrong tonight.
He's played very well, and I'm sure he's got the attention of a lot of big clubs around Europe. There's a few clubs around Europe that could use a good goalkeeper, and this man certainly has been very, very solid. And as you said, he didn't play in the first game. Maybe if they had played him in the first game, hey, who knows? They mightn't be in such dire straits going into this second game.
Forward to go the Bulgarian champions again. Steve Finnan. As cool as a cucumber. Sissoko, he had it taken away from him that time by Gargarov. Cisse. He wasn't quite sure where the ball was. Ipia. Well, no one really remembers how a team got to the group stage. Liverpool would rather not have this blot on their copybook. And falling back that time was Ibrahima Gueye. Proved to be a tough customer at the back. The choice between Gueye and Sissoko, and a free kick to Liverpool. Luis Garcia stands over the ball. He tried to curl it in. It's always heading wide of the target. Tommy Smith.
It's nice to be able to take on a player of Luis Garcia's calibre, isn't it? A beautifully struck ball, just curved wide at that back post.
Please contact your nearest steward.
Luis Garcia in his second season with Liverpool. Former Barcelona man. Here's the substitute, Sakaliev. Hitting the byline, but no takers there for CSKA. Orientes back there helping out. Now, how to drive his team on, looking for support in the middle. Zendin's there. Well, they managed to survive, or do they? Garcia. Wasn't his cleverest move. There was no one able to run onto it. Dietmar Hamann. Steve Finnan. And Sissoko with Garcia behind him. No way through for Momo Sissoko. But Liverpool are getting stronger as this match gets older.
Yeah, they're starting to string the passes together. Sissoko with a nice move here. It looked like the ball was going to break rightly for Luis Garcia. It just failed.
Again, it's Garcia with the corner. And the thunderbolt comes in. Zendin was the player who was back there for Liverpool.
This ball just broke out, and Liverpool completely out-shooting their opponents today, but they haven't managed to get one on the target. That's all that counts.
I can tell you that Panathinaikos and Wisla Krakow have gone into extra time. And their tie, 3-1, the second leg score in favour of Panathinaikos. It was 3-1 to Wisla in the first match in Poland. Udinese have successfully made it through. 3-2 the full-time score against Sporting Lisbon. Udinese also victors in the first leg. And Real Betis will be in the draw for the group stage on Thursday after a 2-2 draw away to Monaco tonight. Betis, of course, 1-0 winners in the first match.
Good start to the season for Betis. They beat Barcelona 2-1 over the weekend. Now they come along, and although they didn't win the cup, they lost on the aggregate, but now they're in the group stage for Europe.
As I said earlier on, Partizan Belgrade and Art Media have gone to penalty kicks. And we'll try to bring you the outcome of that penalty shootout just as soon as the news comes to us. Sissoko.
Sissoko's played very well here in the second half, hasn't he?
Florent Sinama-Pongol is poised to come on here. Hipia. Risa on the left, and it's headed away out of the danger area by Todorov, only as far as Zenden. Tiger-like play there by Bodo Zenden. It's another Liverpool corner. It's their 9th corner of the evening. Once again, Captain Hupia makes his way forward. These CSKA players have run their legs off. It's an excellent showing by the visitors. There is Florent Sinama-Pongol, a player who was bedeviled with injuries last season. He's come on to take the place of Djibril Cissé. Florent Sinama-Pongol, who was actually linked in a few of the Scottish newspapers this morning with a possible move to Aberdeen of the SPL on loan. Liverpool are believed to be interested in farming him out to a club somewhere in the British Isles just to give him a chance to play for a few months after all the injury problems of last season. And let's face it, if they do sign Michael Owen or Dirk Kuyt, there's going to be a fairly lengthy list of strikers ahead of Florent Sinama-Pongol.
Yeah, I thought that they might have taken Cissé off earlier, Benitez, but decided to leave him on all that length of time, and now Sinama-Pongol comes on to replace him.
7 minutes to go. It was surely unthinkable before a ball was kicked tonight that Liverpool would be trailing here to CSKA with 7 minutes left. And here's Sinama-Pongol trying to get involved in the action, having just come on. Zenden. And to slide it through to Risa. Back to Dietmar Hamann. Well, it lacked the requisite accuracy.
Hamann takes it down. Like a lot more of the Liverpool shots tonight, they've been just going wayward.
So another substitution is in the offing for CSKA Sofia. Petar Dimitrov will come on.
Leaving the field, number 11, Guillaume Dazadi.
And it's the Ivorian Guillaume Dazadi who is replaced. We've seen one or two impressive flashes from Zadi. I know that he certainly caught your eye, Tommy.
Certainly did, and a little bit more concentration, he might have put them 2-0 up, but he certainly looks like he's a very good player.
Well, it's quite a story, and it's a story that we can confirm now. For the first time in the short history of the Champions League, there will be a team from Slovakia in the group stage, because Artmedia have prevailed 4-3 on penalty kicks against Partizan.
Well, I think we knew it was just a case of when would it happen, because Slovakia have improved so much at international level, and this is certainly, it's going to prove to be a very interesting Champions League, isn't it?
Well, already tonight, FC Thun have made headlines, and now it's the turn of Artmedia Bratislava. And let's not forget about CSKA Sofia, albeit their task was different here. No realistic prospect of knocking out Liverpool, but they've proved that they can play a little bit. The Bulgarian champions.
Yeah, they're certainly showing that they have a lot of skill on the ball. They're very, very fluid when they go forward. And I'm not sure how Liverpool got a 3-1 victory over them the last night, especially in Sofia.
As I said earlier, all will be forgotten once the draw is made. No one really remembers how a team got to the group stage itself.
Just as long as they get there.
That's what it's all about. Still, there will be criticism of this Liverpool performance, I have no doubt, on the radio call-in shows tonight and tomorrow here in the United Kingdom, because they can be a fussy lot, the Liverpool supporters. It's not enough just to win. It has to be done in a certain style, in a specific manner. And as you said earlier on, Tommy, it's not as though Liverpool have really set the heather ablaze with their performances in the early part of the season.
Now, they certainly need 100% improvement if they're going to challenge Chelsea, although I've picked them to finish third in the Championship in England. They'll need certainly an awful lot better performance than they've had tonight. But having said that, they are short a few regulars. I mean, it'll be a different looking team when there's something on the line.
Yes, Steven Gerrard, of course, out tonight. Peter Crouch is still missing for a hamstring problem, and I know that you reckon that Peter Crouch could turn out to be quite a useful addition to this Liverpool squad.
Yeah, I feel he will be. He's a big target man inside, gives you plenty to aim the ball into, and he'll knock the ball down to you. I think you'd love to be a striker playing off him, because you know that he's going to win most aerial battles if they play the ball in the air.
Here's Finnan. Hamann. Zenden. It's closed down there by Todorov. Hamann trying to win it back. 2 minutes left. And it's CSKA Sofia who will win the plaudits, if not the tie. That draw, of course, to be made on Thursday in Monaco, and many of you will be able to see it live here on ESPN. Consult your local guides for the times where you are. Zabavnik lets it trickle through for the goal kick. The exodus has started. You can see the Liverpool fans beginning to make their way out of the ground.
They're happy and content in the knowledge that their team is going to be in the next round.
Now, you and I spent many a happy hour with the Liverpool contingent in Istanbul just a few months ago. They really are terrific people to be around.
They certainly sang their heart out in Istanbul, that's for sure.
Yes, our colleague Angus Loughran was especially popular with them.
A little bit too popular at times. They liked everything he had.
Inside the final few seconds here at Anfield, and a confident take by Scott Carson, who hasn't had an awful lot to do, But I don't think it's overstating the case to say that Liverpool have been very flat here. This second leg, but now Sissoko, oh, denied by the woodwork. With 90 minutes on the clock. The closest Liverpool have come to a goal.
Well, you know that Sissoko would have loved to have put that one away, and it was a great effort. He really had a go.
But now at the other end, have Liverpool left themselves exposed at the back? What a chance, but surely offside. The flag had gone up against Velizar Dimitrov. It would have been the icing on the cake for CSKA Sofia.
Well, let's see. Certainly the ball across into the middle is offside. Could have done better to hold on to it. Here's the shot from Sissoko. Look at it. He turns it on and he smacks it. It's curling away from the keeper up onto the crossbar.
Forward by Finnan for Liverpool. Will this be the last opportunity? The header there was a risky one by Gueye. With Floro Cinema Pongol lurking.
Well, he put the keeper on the real pressure here. Cinnamon Pongol comes in and he does catch the keeper with that trailing foot.
Well, it wasn't the performance that Rafa Benitez was looking for tonight. But at least Liverpool are heading through to the group stage. That was what this exercise was all about. Liverpool, of course, given special dispensation to return to the competition, despite finishing out with the top four in the Premiership last season. UEFA eventually deciding that the defending champions ought to have the chance of defending the crown. That meant going through the first two qualifying rounds against TNS and Kaunas, and now going through this third round against CSKA Sofia, the Bulgarian champions, albeit losing on the night. The goal scored by Valentin Iliev on 15 minutes. And really no one can say that Liverpool, minus the injured Steven Gerrard, deserved anything more than what they got. Full-time score, 1-0 to CSKA, but Liverpool go through on aggregate 3-2.